We now welcome two guests from Mid-Coast Family Services. We speak with Ginny Stafford and Brett Jones. Welcome to Community Crossroads.
Thank you for having us.
Well, it's great to see y'all, and I wanted to invite y'all to come on the show to talk about all of the services you provide for fighting substance abuse, for fighting those demons that a lot of us have trouble wrestling with, especially this time of year.
Yeah.
For sure. So thank you for having us. One of the things I wanted to tell you about is that this is the 40th anniversary of the Women's Crisis Center. It began 40 years ago as a place for shelter so that people who are experiencing violence within their homes could go. It's hard to imagine a world where there wasn't a place like that, but and then 25 years ago, Mid-Coast Council merged with the Women's Crisis Center to start Mid-Coast Family Services. So we're very proud of our history and our legacy, but we also know we have a lot more work to do. The shelter remains open 24/7, 365 days a year. Christmas makes no difference, and we just have a big Christmas party on Christmas Day and try to make it a place of that's homey and feels welcoming to everyone.
Yes, domestic violence is something that affects all communities.
It does.
And I know in Port Lavaca they're wishing they had a shelter like we do, because we're really the shelter for this region.
We are. We're the only shelter in about a 90 to 100 mile radius. The closest one would probably be in Corpus. So that's quite a drive for somebody who's in crisis, or if you've got kids in school, or you're trying to keep your job, or you've got family nearby. So we're working hard to make sure that our doors stay open and that we can stay available and accessible to our communities.
And have y'all found that in helping these women fight against domestic violence, are they also needing help fighting substance abuse? You know,
I often say that people don't walk in our door with one problem. Very often people who come in are experiencing family violence also are struggling with homelessness, and sometimes they use substances to help cope and to feel better about their situation. So it's a complicated world and a complicated problem, so it takes many different kinds of paths to get to any kind of reconciliation.
And y'all work with other agencies, other organizations in the community to help improve the conditions of these victims.
We do. We work with Gulf Bend Center. We work with the Harbor in Port Lavaca. We have a partnership with actually Victoria College, where we have space on their campus for any victims of domestic violence or sexual assault, whether it's dating violence or date rape, anything like that. We do have a place where we can meet with students on campus as well.
And there's a hotline as well.
We do. We have a 24-hour hotline. It is, say it right now.
361-573-4357 or 573-HELP.
And that can be for people who are suffering from domestic violence, who perhaps went through an assault themselves, and in that moment maybe you feel like you can't talk to anyone.
That's right. We've got somebody on the hotline 24/7. We also have, if you go to our website, a way that if you can't talk on the phone, we have a bar that you can click that you can chat with someone at any time as well, in case it's not a safe time for you to talk on the phone, but you need somebody right away. There's an online portal that you can chat with as well.
Wow, and going into this next year, what are some things y'all are looking forward to promoting?
Well, you know, I feel like we're in Mid-Coast Family Services Part 2. We're taking a new direction, or an additional direction, and opening a new center behind our offices for people who live on the street, with showers and lockers, a place for them to receive mail, but most importantly to connect with our staff, and we're hoping volunteers to help them get off of the street. But we're calling it our empowerment zone, empowerment hub, empowerment, because we want it to be a place that's multi-use. We'll have some parenting classes there. Oh, wow. We'll probably even have some youth activities there as well. So we hope that will be open by mid-January. We keep pushing it back one more month and one more month, but we want to be open by mid-January and be a better satellite for people who need services.
I love the holistic approach. Thank y'all so much for everything y'all do.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
All right, well, coming up, don't go anywhere. We hear from Habitat for Humanity. We'll be right back.